today. I know I always start the same, so if you ever listen to the beginning, I probably say the same words 90% of the time. It's like, gotta figure out a good intro, I guess, other than just say, hello, don't know what I'm gonna say next, so I just figure have an opening line, you know. So, okay, so today's Cali Move, week 15, test week, day 3, I think. Um, Again, test week is one of those things that it's hard for me to get used to. It's a 3 days of doing 4 exercises, one set. That's it. So I tend to do more. Today I ran 4 miles as part of my warm up. I just completed that probably 35 minutes ago, so that's not too bad if I get started here quickly. And so I'm still cooling down a bit, which is good. I still got plenty of my body's still pretty warm. Uh, let's see here. It's today's is just pull-ups. Is like I say, it's test week, so you can do as many as you can. It's max 10. It says, it says 3 to 8, 3 to 8, 3 to 8, 8 to 15. These are all numbers I've hit on multiple occasions. I've hit the 8 every time. You don't have to use band. It is an assisted pull-up, which means you can use bands. But again, it's about the power up. It's about how it's not just doing as many pull-ups as you can, correct full length pull-ups. It's about doing power-up pull-ups. In other words, for how many times can you, bam, pull up, like as though you were going to let go of the bar. Pull up fast enough that you could let go of the bar for a split second, even. And then just let go. I mean, not let go and drop yourself, let go, catch yourself. But um, it's about that, being able to go up fast enough for that. Because if you're going up slow, you can't do that, right? If you let go, you fall. I mean, you lose your grip. You want to be able to go up fast enough that you can literally let go of the bar and grab onto it again without really changing your rhythm at all, without changing your position or even your grip position. Because you're going up fast enough, you let go and you close, you're still you still have that momentum enough to hold it back up. So you have that split second of, what do you call it, weightlessness, where you could just, and then you go all the way down. Um, the only reason you can let go is because you're in that middle zone of, like I said, this weightlessness. It's that point between the shifting up and the shifting down where you're able to do things. Um, so we're going to go ahead and get started here. It's only 4 exercises. The first one is pull-up, so it's probably the hardest one of the bunch. Dips are next. I probably should do a vest on the dip. It is a power push. My triceps are pretty strong, and if I don't do a vest, I probably will do way more than I want to do. Same with step ups. I mean, technically, it's 3 to 8, so you're trying to hit the max within the range of the exercise. So if it says 3 to 8, ideally you're strong enough that you can do more weight, more pressure, more whatever within that 3 to 8. So if you're only hitting, if you're hitting 15, 20, 25, you probably should add some weight to pull yourself back down into that range. Now, I think since this is beginner, it's actually expecting that you're not trying to pull yourself down to it. You're trying to push yourself up to it because you're just starting out, which is fair. But if you're already pretty strong and you want this to be a challenge and you want to be able to be in that range, add weight to yourself, because it'll make it, in the end, it'll make it easier to get the power parts later because you'll be doing it under a heavier load. And then later, if they have you doing 15 or 20, well, you're going to be like, well, shoot, that's easy. You can reduce your weight if you need to, but ultimately, if you can keep doing it with more weight, better off you are. So one thing about this, you'll notice it's also it's only about a 20-minute worth of exercise. You do your one thing and then you get 5 to 10 minutes rest. 5 to 10 minutes after doing 8 reps is like ridiculously small amount of exercise. But so it's a power up and it's a slow down. So you're going to go up quick, you're going to control it all the way down, and you're going to power up again. So you should see a noticeable change in my speed from my going up to my going down. You should be much faster on the up than on the down, which logically speaking, you wouldn't be, right? So, I mean, it's always easier to go down fast because gravity's helping you. So you want to be under full control, slow down, 1, 2, 1, 2, and the X just means as fast as you can. If you're finding yourself not able to go up so fast, you feel like you could almost let go of the bar, assist. Use a band. I've used a band. It's definitely helpful. But I think I can do some without it, and therefore, if I can get into that 3 to 8, and anything over is just gravy. But it'd be silly for me to use the band if, in fact, I can do it without at the 3 to 8 numbers. So, and I'm pretty sure I can. So let's get started. Strength, as minimal as this is going to be, it is still a strength workout. So, I do like to wear gloves, although I feel like my grip is actually better without it. But I don't know. The thing is about gloves is they give you, they eliminate calluses. They don't eliminate calluses. They reduce the number of calluses in your hand. And to be honest, I know people are like, oh, your calluses show that you work. It's like, well, they don't really, right? They show that I go work out. Unless I work outside, like, I'm a construction worker or something. What's the point of having that? What's the point of having calluses if you don't need them? Besides, I don't know, it's more comfortable not to have calluses because it's basically just irritation in your skin. Your skin's producing these hard, what do you call it? Hard layers to protect it from the irritation of the work, which is fine. It does make your hands more resilient, but it really only helps that part because it's only for grip. If you don't get calluses on the entire hand, it's like, well, what's the point? You got unless you have a nice tough layer on your entire hand, it's not like you can go outside and start doing construction work without wrecking your hands anyway, because those calluses just on the grip spot of your fingers that you use from holding bars is never going to be much use to you. You're still going to get blisters and all that crap, so might as well just wear gloves. I think you should wear gloves when you're working out outside anyway. But generally it's better grip, but these ones, I don't know. They're not bad, but they're better. Okay, so let's do this. 8 to 15 for me is the goal. Again, there's two ways to do these. There's the hollow body, which means your feet are in front of you, and then there's arch back, which is your feet are below you. One is more of a back exercise. One is more of a chest/core exercise. Ultimately, you should still be going with your head back, but straight up. In other words, you want to be straight with your head back. So you can core, which will pull you down a little bit. You'll be more straight. Watch, I'll show you. This is hollow body. So like my feet are out in front of me, my core is tight. This is hollow body. And then there's the arch back, which is essentially same basic premise, except I'm not really bringing my feet up in front of me. And a lot of people, when they do this, will end up crossing their legs. They say don't do that, but I don't know that it matters. Either way, feet together or not, feet are crossed or not, it's basically this. So my body is just hanging down. There's not a whole lot of core exercise involved there. There's nothing being held. I like hollow body if I can help it, but ultimately you're still trying to do the same thing or you're coming up quicker. So I'm stalling. Why? Because it's my first one. Plus a couple little hangs to get going is good for loosening, getting the muscles ready. According to my watch, I've already been working out for 3.5 minutes. I haven't done squat. All right, let's get going. Let's do the first set. This is should be easy peasy, right? 8 to 15. 12. not particularly great. I probably had a few slow ones in me, but the first ones, I almost feel like I should get a warm-up round because it's really hard to do a test of yourself. Um, it's really hard to get a good test of yourself when you're cold or when you have, it's the first thing you've done. I mean, I guess you can always give yourself a warm-up round, but all right. Next thing, I get a long break again, and all this is dips. I'm going to try and do a vest this time. I did 12. Probably should have went for 13 just because 14 would have been even better. But again, those first ones always feel tight. It's kind of like when you go jogging and you haven't done anything yet that day. You go out and that first mile is kind of or half mile, whatever. But then after that, you kind of start getting in your rhythm. You actually pick up speed in a lot of cases. You're actually feeling pretty good, and you actually average a much faster speed than those first steps. It feels just really weird. Now, if you run a lot of times that's pretty small because your body gets, hey, it's the first thing I'm doing. So I'm running. There's a body prep. Your body will start to prep itself for things it feels are coming. So it's easier to go straight to it. I don't get up and do pull-ups every day. I should. I should get up and do hangs. Just set um, what is it? Jeff Cavalier, Ashley on X. I don't know if you've heard of him. Check him out. He's got some great videos on YouTube about exercises, good ones, bad ones, blah blah blah, best form, all that stuff. He's a personal trainer. He has a bunch of workouts you can get on his website. I've done one of the Beast workout on one of my streams. Well, for a while during one of my streams. So, with where am I? Make sure I got my timer running here. Got about 2 minutes left. All right, so what was I saying? Oh, Jeff Cavalier. Yeah, he recommends that you should do hangs every day. In fact, I've seen a couple of YouTubers say that. Now, I don't know if they heard from each other and just did it, but you should do dead hangs every day. 3 minutes. Now, a lot of people can't do 3 minutes. You could do them probably 1 minute increments if you're good enough. Do them in 30-second increments if you're working up to that. It builds up your grip. It helped me a little bit. I was doing those for a while. I have gotten better grip. Obviously, I can do more than I could before. I could probably do a dead hang now for 90 seconds or so before I have to drop, or maybe 2 minutes if if I'm really fresh and my grip's at its best. Now, I did notice next week when we do the actual workout, we're only doing 8 sets. This is the actual workout for this whole last month. 8 sets on the first 2 days of the week. That's it. You get 1 minute breaks, 1 to 1.5 minute breaks in between each exercise. Repeat, because you're doing each exercise you do twice with a 1 minute break in between. They're grouped together, so they're like supersets. So you're going to go 1 minute in between, and then you go to the next one, 1 minute, 1 minute, So you're basically going to get like 1 minute between each set and exercise. So it's going to go really fast. There's only 8 minutes of break and 8 sets, and you're done. So it's about 20 minutes of exercise. It's kind of crazy. I don't know why they're doing it that way. I don't know if that's supposed to help or good or bad, but to me that's like, oh no, only 20 minutes. But at least they should be pretty intense. It's going to be very fast moving. Go, go, go. You're doing a pretty high reps each time, I think. I think it might even be like max rep. And then the third day, the third day of the week is you do like a more normal workout where you get slightly longer breaks, not as long as you would think, but you're doing like 20 exercises. So you're going to do 5 sets of things, but you only do it one time, one during the week. So again, it's going to be a strange thing. You got to do that for 4 weeks. 4 weeks. That's a long time to do something that I feel like is really under. I feel like I'm under efforting. So I feel like I'm almost like going to be losing strength in the process of trying to get up to these. Even though I can do more, and I do more. I do push myself as much as I can, but within these windows, the windows are very small to do the exercise as says. So I do like to add stuff, make it more challenging, and it sometimes may or may not tweak or, you know, distort the actual result. So um, if you're a beginner and you're following me doing these things, just do the parts that are the Cali Move and call it good. Because it's harder the way I do it sometimes. Now I don't always add stuff, so whatever I do that's Cali Move, I'll tell you. Do those things, take the breaks that it says, follow along on that sense. But if you want more extra challenge, you can do the extra things that I do when I do them. It's your call. All right, so it's about time for me to get on to the next exercise. It's 5 to 10 minutes. I'm pretty close to 5 minutes already. Again, so this is just me adding a little bit of effort so I don't have to do a million of these. All right, just whatever I can. It's I think it's 3 to 8, but these are power-ups as well. So you count down 1, 2, down, bam, up. 1, 2, down, bam, up. So you're going up quickly. Um, so keep focused on that. Keep your form. Try not to hunch your shoulders as you're coming up. Try to keep them down and, shoulders down and back, and you're just coming up. The more you lean forward, keep your back as straight as you can. Try not to, you're not arching. Um, you can go straight up and down if you want to hold it. Just stay in that area. I prefer to more lean forward because it puts less pressure on my shoulders. Just because. I don't know. It's my preference. I'll take it. 23 at 203. Okay, so these are basically the exercises that we've done pretty much for the last 3 phases. This is phase 4. Most of the last 3 phases have been these 4 exercises. They just change how you do them, how many you're doing, blah, blah, blah. So now this is the first time I get to do these with my box. I actually replaced the jump squats yesterday with the box. I did box jumps to add a challenge. I'm going to leave the vest on for this. Um, Basically, again, this is higher than a chair. So I'm adding challenge to this simply on the fact that this is bigger than higher than my chair. Uh, this is about 3 inches, I think, higher than the chair was. So it'll be a little bit more. Again, it's going to come down to form, trying to keep that slow pace, trying not to push off with the foot, even though I'm guessing I probably will to some extent. Forgot to reset my timer. I did it again. We're probably about 3 minutes in. Got about 2 minutes of rest coming. If there's a one pretty safe bet when it comes to my doing this stuff. Is that thing popping forward on its own? If there's one pretty safe bet when I'm doing this, it's that I get almost 100% of my breath back. All the cardio goes away because I just start feeling less and less, I don't know, tired. I mean, 5 to 10 minutes between one set of exercise is 100% recovery, probably. It's almost like you didn't do anything. Just warm enough that your body still says, okay, I did something, but not enough that you feel like you're in a constant state of exercise. I want to bring my yoga mat down for these. Um, I have a concrete floor here. It's got a layer of a decently thick carpet, but I like the extra padding. It's just better for your legs, knees, hips, all that crap to have a more padded surface. All right, time's close enough, I think. Um, this is 8 to 15. I don't even know. Does he say 8 to 15 or 3 to 8? Ah, 3 to 8. I can't believe it's such a small amount. I mean, who can't do this? You have to be... Now, this is per leg, so, but I usually do 15 or so. I mean, with this, I don't know, I'll probably do that anyway. But I could do, at least, probably 15 at least per leg. Now you can alternate legs. That might make it a little bit more interesting. I don't know, but I, it's almost easier to stay focused on one leg, I think. Either way, you're going up slow, down slow. You're trying to put all the weight on the lead leg. So when you're coming in, you're trying to balance in such a way where this leg can do all the work, both up and down. If you go back too far, it's not going to do as much work. You're just going to drop because you have no leverage. If you want this leg to lift you up, so you basically, if I'm doing it here, I'm pushing up a lot to get myself over my leg. So I'm better off, step close, lean into it, straighten out your back. It's just like a squat. You want good form in your back here. You want that, what do I call it, almost that shelf back here. Have you ever seen you know what they're talking about, the booty shelf? When you squat, a good squat has a good booty shelf where you come back and this part can theoretically, like it looks like a shelf almost. That just means your back is arched correctly. Not so much that you're overarching, but you want your weight to be on your quads, and that happens better when you have a better form. All right, here we go. So you don't want this. You're not doing this bit. Back up, straight, form. You can keep your arms to your side or in front of you, whatever works, but you're just going for balance. Time's up. Let's do this. See, here, bending my leg like I'm on the launch. I don't want to do that. My leg was still on that. I did 20. That's actually, I think, the most I've ever done of these step ups with the vest. I think I've done more with dumbbells, but I don't know if I've done 20 though. I feel like I've never done 20. Oh, that's, oh, I felt that. Okay, next leg. The one drawback is this is going to break down, I think, over time if I keep using extra weight. Oh, it's hard. Plus, I think this thing is working my calves more because it's softer and my calves are stabilizing more. I think that's, oh, oh that was kind of rough. Okay. All right, that's it for exercise number 3. So, last thing, there's only one thing left. Now these are glute bridges, one-legged glute bridges, single leg glute bridge, whatever. Again, I tend to add weight to those, but I can't really add it here. This doesn't do anything. Just that make me lie on some steel plates or steel bars, which is not comfortable. It's easier to breathe without that thing. Okay, so only thing left is glute bridges. I'm going to do a couple of little extra things just because. Let's do some leg lifts and some abs maybe. See if the little bit of abs I did yesterday matter. I'm going to do some leg lifts here. I like doing them on here because it helps me to work with my stability in my shoulders. Stabilization here. The more stable, the better I get at it, the more stable I am when I do these. I have noticed though that it's very these are pretty challenging. These are actually pretty good. I like these. Good. 15. So you notice at the end I was starting to spread my arms out. I don't know, I just feel like I get a little bit more out of it. Like I can get more leverage, more arm strength. Just feel stronger to let it out when I come down and then push up, tightening up everything, bring everything up together. It feels more full body, you know, just like more going on when you do it that way. I did start that way because it was, I don't know, I was just getting my rhythm. That's what I do. Like sometimes I'll do like the first one, like as with a lot of my exercises, the first thing I do is usually a little more basic, and then I start adding more advanced, maybe on the second and third. That's why a lot of times I don't add extra weight the first time I do a set, but like the second, third, and fourth, I will, just because you're building, kind of getting the body going, and I don't like to go at it. The first set's always the warm-up set, the wake up your body set. I don't want to overdo it. So they say you shouldn't go into a squat at full power. You should never go try to do your max in the first set. Your body's not ready for it. Your muscles aren't warm. Too many chances of injury. You need to get your body, the blood pumping, the looseness going, wake up everything. Then you can start throwing a little bit more effort at it. This is why I'm saying doing a max test like this is probably not great. I should probably go through the whole cycle at least once, do some light stuff, and then just kind of get everything going. You feel warm and you've done the exercise. Then you go try to do your max. To me, that's better. But what do I know? They do warm-ups and they do recommend warm-ups. So warm-ups are good, but I don't think warm-ups necessarily, unless the warm-up is catered to that workout, it's probably not that great. Generic, unless you have a workout, unless you have a warm-up that covers every muscle and every possible thing you might do, which would be like, might as well just go through the whole workout at light weights. Warm-ups are good for getting the blood flowing, getting things moving, but it's not going to get you the workout or the warm-up your muscles need. I think your muscles need to be warmed up in the task that they're set up for. That's why I think even, if you go work on a construction site even, your first load of carrying something back and forth is going to be like, if you have to carry a bunch of bags, you're pretty strong. You might only carry 1 or 2 bags to start, but you start feeling pretty good. You can carry 2 or 3 bags, whatever, or you start off, you just carry a small amount, start feeling the strength, the warm, and then you start picking up 2 or 3 or 4. Part of that's in your head saying, yeah, I want to get this done. It's taking too long. But hey, that's how the body works. It's like, well, I can do more. Let's get this moving. The body doesn't know when you're in the gym that there is no limit and you're still doing the same amount, but let's go. 5 minutes is up, 5:34. Last exercise. I think the last couple times I did this, I did 25s. Let's do 30. Let's do a 30 test today. It's only one round, and I only have to do 15, I think. What is it, 15? This is a higher number. 8 to 15, yeah. I'm going to do 30. Hopefully I could do the 15 range. I've done 25. it was funny. How old was I? Okay, so I I had to go to my kids when they were little, probably less than 10. So I was a pretty young guy still, my 20s or whatever. And the teacher, they did a photo, a class photo with the parents there, and all the parents, after the photo, some of them were kneeling, got up, and I think I was one of them. And they go, "All right, you're all done." And then they all get up and they say, "Notice how when you get older, everybody's like creaking and saying, eh." I'm like, dude, most of us are in like our 20s. How old do you think we are? I don't think most of us even made a noise. It's like, I think they were just trying to tease the parents in favor of the kids. Kids like to see their parents get teased. I'm gonna try and put this on one side, but we'll see. It might not work. It could be that it's too focused. In other words, it's gonna hurt my hip. Now these are holds, so it's 1, 2, hold, 1, 2, hold. So that's what we're doing. We're going for 15. Ugh. Ow, 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 ow. That one, I really started feeling that at the end. I think I got 24 though, unless I counted really bad, which is not to be unheard of. But um, yeah, that was hard. It was fine. I was like, oh, this is going easy. This is easy. 19, 20, yeah, not too bad. And then around 21, I started feeling the burn. At 24, it's like, put the thing down now, quick. Muscle's gonna spasm. Ow, did it again. It's like I was good. I was holding up. And then right when I start reaching that 20 zone, really started to feel it. To be honest, I think that's how it goes with most max lifts, right? I mean, it's always easy for the first part. There's just the muscles going, all right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Hey, hello. Okay, I'm done. That's kind of just the way it goes with muscles. They're fine until they're not. It's like just like even when you go do the max bench press, right? It's like that lift it off the bar, huh, not too bad. It's like, oh, it's pretty hard. I don't know if I can do this. You're pushing as hard as you can, and then you're done. All right, so let's see. Uh, I really should change my glute bridge thing to an actual glute bridge, but barbell glute bridge. Let's see. I normally give myself credit for 10 pounds right out the gate. So 10 plus 30 is 40 pounds. Woo! I did 24. Now, you can see that it shows my glute bridge there. It says max, or I must not have done that in. I've never done the glute bridge on here. They have the, what do they call them? I think it is the barbell glute bridge, but maybe I've never recorded it or I have a different version of it where you use the bench and the bar. I've done like 300 and some pounds with that. So way beyond what that says I just did. So, and I've done it 10 to 12, 13 times. So it's not like I'm anywhere in that vicinity. So I must have logged it under a different exercise, because, which is good, because that means I have a window now that I can show where I've actually done what my maxes and limits are. So that's it. That is the Cali Move portion of today, other than the couple little extra things I've done so far. I'm going to try to do a couple of extra things, but that's test week. There's all there really is to it. Not much else. Like I said, that's why I call it test week slash recovery week. It's your week to kind of let the muscles kind of just take some time off. And that's why I'm not overdoing it with the extra stuff. I just feel like I have a real mental problem with not exercising. Okay, so I've been doing this for years and years and years and years and years. And when somebody says you need to take a week off every 6 weeks, I really mean a week off. Do you mean like light lifting? You mean like instead of doing 30, only doing 20? I say no. Light jogging best, no exercise. Just let your muscles have a time to recover. And I'm like, no, what do you mean by that? like nothing. But by nothing, you mean make it feel like it wasn't a full workout. I feel like it wasn't any kind of workout at all. Like you never lifted anything. That's what it should feel like. Oh, okay. So you mean I can do really light weights? It just can't feel like, no. Um, don't get me wrong. I have done all cardio weeks. I think when I injured my back last year, geez, I feel like it was. Now it's definitely been 2 years now since I injured my back last. Um, where you overstrain it, where you get to that point where like, oh, can't move kind of thing. I did that a couple times in 1 year. I've done it 3 times total. Um, I think the 2 times I did it, they were kind of close together. I didn't give myself enough time to recover, but I basically did uh, just cardio for a week, because once you start moving, I was usually able to get pretty loose and I felt okay, but then it would stiffen up really bad again and I couldn't do anything. So I was just stayed away from doing stuff that strained it and was able to get back going. But even then, cardio for a week, and then I quickly started doing weights again. But I tried to stay away from my back and just try to give that recovery and do other things. Or when I did legs, I was doing like, leg extensions, leg curls, or I just wouldn't let myself completely take time off. And maybe that's been my problem. You know, they say, if your body needs that time to reset and recalibrate so that it can do better in the future. And I have had things where like I haven't done one set of exercises, like no upper body for a week or two because reasons. But I always did something. And then it wasn't even always injury. Sometimes I just didn't do it. I just did something else or whatever, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I go, you know what? I haven't done this in a while, and I really had a good lift that next time because my body's like, oh, I'm ready for this. I've recovered. I'm strong. My muscles are solid. Um, so yeah, maybe that's part of my problem. I need that reset, that recalibration. I don't know, because I pretty much am at max plateau. I have not seen significant gains in anything, although I'm doing some things I'm gaining on some of this stuff, but this is a type of exercise I don't do very often. So I'm afraid that it's the kind of exercise that I do often is suffering. It's in my head. I'm having a hard time with the whole don't do any of this or don't do any of that. Um, where I'm used to doing heavy weights where I get up to the 200 and the 200 plus exercises. I'm not doing that here unless I count my body weight. And in those, when I lifted weights, I was just counting the weights. I could do a bench press. I'm doing 250, 260 pounds at my max range where I'm doing, 3, 4, 5 reps. I feel like I need to get in there and do some more of that just to feel like I can still do it because this has been a long time without it, and it's mentally tough. So I may have to take a week, or I just go to the gym for a week and throw out Cali Move for a little bit because it's really hard to do both since you can't do Cali Move. I mean, they don't have rings at the gym. They do have pull-up bars. I mean, I guess I can do most of this stuff at the gym. They don't have a step-up box, or chair or anything. You can do. You can stand on the benches, I suppose. But I always feel weird standing on the benches. I feel like you shouldn't be standing on the benches. I just feel like that's not what they are, but people do it because that's how you do step-ups. Still feels weird. Like they're meant to be sat on or lied on, not stepped on. So I don't use my bench for that because I don't like lying on the bench or stepping on the bench. Plus, I think my bench feels unstable. It's not. It's not. It's a single bar bench where it has one bar across the middle instead of a wide 2 bars or anything like that, which would probably be more stable. I'm swinging too much. This is from lack of stability. That's why you swing. Once you get better stability, this shouldn't move. Really, you should be able to hold your arms in one place and just move that muscle. So I am losing, the more I swing, the more I'm losing stability. Such is the way it is. Now you can do angle push-ups. This is actually 2 ways that this can work for you. You can do a lower chest, which is keep your body up like this and then pull it down in the middle. This is a low chest exercise. It's going to get that under chest that you're working. You can do that. The more you're lifting your body, the better. So you get your weight by removing, as you're lifting, you're basically lifting your body weight. The more of your body weight, the better. So if I center enough, I'm up on my toes, and my body is actually being held by my arms. So see how high I go up on my toes? That's my body lifting, my chest lifting my body weight. If you stay on your toes the whole time, that means a lot of your weight sitting on your feet still. So the more you're on your toes, the more your chest is doing the work. Now, the lower or the more out your rings are, the higher the chest work. But it's also harder to get your body in unless you get the weight down lower where you can sit on the weight. You want your weight to be sitting on your arms, much like when you're doing a planche. So there's people who could do planche on rings. And the way they do that is they're leaning so far forward that their body is literally become lifting off the ground. But I can't do it. If I do, I swing down because my core is not strong enough to lift me back. But, as you get stronger, someday, some way, Then I swing forward. I bend my legs because I know they're going to come forward and drag. I can't keep my body up. So I don't have enough strength back here. I could tell that's just where it is. It's like my muscles back there are like, what do you want me to do? Oh, you expect me to lift your entire lower body? Good one. So my body's like, no, that's not going to happen, my friend. I could start learning how to do high push-ups, which is to say, so a planche push-up is, of course, when you're leaning far forward. With my legs way the heck up there, I'm getting to that point. But again, all you're doing is doing the part where it's strengthening your shoulders and your arms and your upper back. But still, until your core is being lifted by your body, you're not lifting your entire body weight, right? Your core has to take your body, has to be able to do its part. And I'm just not there. How should I do with these back? But I could tell, like I have no core activation, which means all I'm doing is working the part of the body that can do the push-up, but I'm not doing the core activation, which I'm not sure how Cali Move is going to get me past that. You do a Superman's, which is good, which you have to lift your legs because that's what your muscles need to learn to do. But how does one build this area? So I've been doing kickbacks. I find kickbacks help too, but again, those are just rhythmic. They're not stationary. Rhythmic meaning flex, unflex, flex, unflex. There's no hold. I'm trying to get the hold, but to me, kickbacks are about as close to a reverse core exercise as you can get. I mean, this is probably, I think, the best form. So you get up into the parallel bar like you can do dips. And then you do the kickback. You not only feel that up here, that you actually start to feel back here, which is your body trying to activate. But you can see, and if you can pause at the top part, that's where you want to do. The longer you can pause, go up, 1, 2, up, 1, 2. I'm more like up, 1, up, 1. So, and even then, I can only do the 1 for like the first 5, 6. If you want to do a planche push-up, you need to really do the up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, because you need to hold long enough to do a push-up. So your body has to be able to hold. Now, as soon as you can get up and just hold with your legs straight down, then you need to start working on getting your legs further and further out. Like you see, I go until my knees are bent. My knees come in line with my hips. And you can see I'm also at this kind of an angle. I mean, ultimately, I want to be at this kind of an angle, and then even at this kind of an angle. That's where you're going to be when you finally start doing planche push-ups, right? So it's a long way to go, but hopefully I'll get there soon. Okay, time to say it. If you are into games with miniatures in them, or you like to just collect miniatures, medals, minifigs, Hot Wheels, X-Wing ships for your X-Wing games. Um, Check out the X Case and the Mage Cage on Active Minds Games on YouTube and Instagram. And if this is something you like, you want to get yourself some clear ones, we have opaque colors of the Mage Cages, which are good for a lot of things. I think they're probably best for 25 to 32 millimeter minis and smaller. Um, but if you're looking to get yourself some of those, we do have those on our website. We have the magnetic inserts. We have the flex iron that goes on your minis to hold them in place. Um, we also have the metal bases if you put magnets on your own minis. But if you're interested in getting some clear ones, or even want to be one of the first to get the big units, or the configurable shelving that we're going to put inside those, that you can set them up so you can display your figures inside the cases any way you like. The drawers and the token holders for transporting to and from tournaments. Follow us on Facebook, Active Minds Games. And there you can be part of the launch when the Kickstarter finally gets to go. We have not set a date for that because we're trying to build that following up. So please check it out. Follow us on Facebook. Let us know that you're interested. Till next time, stay fit, stay healthy.